What do you think is worse? A bug in Minecraft Java or a bug in Minecraft Bedrock? Today I'll show you the craziest bugs in Java and compare them with bugs from Bedrock. Since more people play Bedrock than Java, it was about time I talked about Minecraft Bedrock. I always leave it aside, and honestly the community is huge. For those who don't know, Minecraft Bedrock was originally created to make the game cross-platform, meaning that people on console, mobile and PC could play online together without any problems. And while they were at it, they wanted the performance to be better than in Java. Since Java is a programming language that isn't designed to run video games, Mojang's plan was perfect: to unify the whole community to create a private service, unlike Java, where you can modify the game however you want. What was the problem? Well, in Bedrock they used the C++ programming language. And it might seem silly, but things that work a certain way in Java aren't as stable in C++, and vice versa. If you add to this the fact that Bedrock is multi-platform, the bugs increase tenfold. The place where bugs are most noticeable in Bedrock is in Redstone. That's because its timing is different from Java's. Well, let me tell you, in Java, 1 tick equals 0.05 seconds, which means that 1 second is 20 ticks. In Bedrock, since it's multi-platform, ticks are processed faster or slower depending on the device you're on. This means a bug in Minecraft Pocket Edition might not appear in the console version. You see what I mean now, right? Basically, the problem with most Redstone bugs in Bedrock is the multi-platform code, which is also what makes it unique. You see the contradiction, right? For example, take a look at this bug. If you think nothing is happening, you need to pay more attention. The piston on the right is activated by the redstone block, and the one on the left should be activated by the repeater, which has a 1 tick delay. That means it should activate just a little bit later. However, it doesn't. It activates them simultaneously, as if the repeater weren't there. In a more complex mechanism, since you need that delay, the whole system could malfunction. Why does this happen? Well, ticks are divided into odd and even, and the piston only activates on even ticks. If you activate the piston with the redstone block, it will activate on the second tick. However, the repeater does activate on odd ticks, so by adding a delay of 1 more tick, the piston receives a signal on an even tick. This is what makes the piston extend at the same time, even with a repeater in between. I won't say anything if you ask me, but between us, are they kidding us? But well, it's not all about picking on Bedrock's bugs. There are a lot in Java too. In fact, there are some that have even stopped being considered bugs and have started to be considered as mechanics. Look, I've explained this countless times, but in case someone isn't following, which you should, this is called quasi-connectivity. Basically, if you power a block from the corner of a piston, the block, even without being directly connected, will activate when it's updated. If you do this with a block on the side of the piston will update directly. This is technically a bug, but there are so many classic mechanisms, like piston doors, that use this bug that Mojang decided not to patch it, because it would cause more problems than it would fix. Another bug related to Redstone, although not in the same way, is the one you're seeing right now. It turns out that in Bedrock, for some reason I don't know, the game doesn't recognize that chests can be joined together, and it treats them as separate textures. This lets you interact through a chest, but it's more subtle than useful. This is quite contradictory as well. I mean, I'm seeing a double chest. It's clear that when you put 2 individual chests together, their textures connect. But for some reason, Mojang doesn't see it that way. They see it as 2 individual chests that work as one big one. It's a texture bug, but the fact that it happens with the chest really bothers me. Look, you could make a secret entrance. You just line up in the center of the double chest, right-click it, and activate the lever. It's practical, but it really makes me question a lot of things. I mean, Mojang, you can't even get the textures right. How many beta testers does Mojang have for bugs like this to slip through? Besides, they're already known. I mean, they know it exists. At least in Java, every now and then, they get their act together and fix really old bugs that had already become normal, like lighting bugs or things like that. What bothers me isn't their existence, but that they aren't fixed. Your only job is to make the game work properly, so why take more than 10 years to fix a simple lighting bug? I'm talking about the one that happens with slabs. In older versions, slabs placed on the upper half of a block would glow when viewed from below. They didn't emit light, but didn't get dark either, appearing as if their brightness was 15, though it was actually 0. But luckily, this hasn't happened for many versions now. Although, unfortunately, we had to deal with it for more than 8 years, and I think many of us will remember this bug. Well, and many other lighting bugs too, but I'll just mention one, since there have been many. I'm trying to remember now, and I recall when large black surfaces would form under blocks, or for example the typical one on servers where a chunk would disappear, but well, they fixed that one a long time ago. The thing is, I'm really old, okay? I shave so it doesn't look like it, but I am. Some cases still confuse me. One very current example is the gold farm. For those who don't have the context, when the Nether update came out, they made it so that the new zombified piglins, when they got angry at the player, would drop experience when they died. And this was a revolution. Thousands of players started building gold farms that also gave experience. I'm sure if you've been playing Minecraft for a while, you've seen them somewhere. It's as simple as making all the zombified piglins angry, and when they die from falling or whatever, they give you that experience. They drop it on the ground and it's up to you how to collect it. But well, each farm does it in its own way. The problem came in version 1.21.5, which just came out. In this version, that mechanic was fixed by treating it as a bug. Are you seriously telling me that since the Nether update came out, zombified piglins weren't supposed to drop experience when they died while aggroed? I understand that it's a bug. It's completely reasonable. But seriously, 5 years. You can't take that long to fix a bug like that. People had already gotten used to it. There were gold farms with experience. Players had accepted it as a mechanic, and just like that, boom, it's over. That's it. Mojang, wake up. It's not the end of the world they removed it, but it's annoying since it was an accepted mechanic for 5 years. Alright, let's cheer up a bit. It seems like I got a little worked up. The bug I'm going to show you was mentioned to me by my editor a few months ago thinking it was in Java, but it was actually in Bedrock. We can see that with just a simple sea pickle, you can break Bedrock. Yes, short. And to the point. You only need a block that's not full, like stairs, fences, or chests. Placing a sea pickle on the unfinished part of a block replaces the sea pickle with whatever block is there at the time. It's done with Bedrock since it's unbreakable, but it also works with dirt, though. I'm not sure why you'd use it that way. It's your choice. Just see how this can evolve. A Reddit user posted that he had created a machine to break the Nether roof. It's not automatic, but it's very convenient. All you have to do is place the sea pickles by hand. What more could you want? There are thousands of bugs like these. But if I told you how many cursed things are in Bedrock? Actually, let's do a quick review. This minecart stops suddenly because it feels superior to the game. Most likely, it's because another player joined and there was a chunk rendering error. But who knows? Sticky pistons in Bedrock work differently. In Java, the only way for them not to take the block they're attached to is by giving them a one-tick signal with an observer, for example. In Bedrock, well, there are 1,000 ways, apparently. The only way to fix it is by adding a delay to the mechanism, but that makes it slower, so I don't think that's the most optimal. And just so you know, all the solutions I'm seeing are from Reddit users. There's no set guide to using Redstone in Bedrock. It's all pretty abstract. It's pretty depressing when players themselves suggest you slow down your mechanism because the game can't handle it. Or this other one, it's a piston that goes crazy, something we can do with 2 observers facing each other. But hey, it's better to laugh than to cry. There's always new ways to have fun in Minecraft. Anyway, Redstone in Bedrock seems pretty poor. But why is it really such a problem for this to happen in Bedrock, while bugs in Java aren't as important? The problem comes when you decide to make a marketplace to sell products inside that game. What assurance are you giving the buyer? That the game won't bug out for no reason? The reality is, none. You can't sell an unfinished product. It's immoral. It's one thing for a game to have bugs, but it's another if you buy something in a buggy game, and that bugs out too. It's not fair to anyone. I'm sure you've seen FIFA bugs before, right? Well, it's exactly the same. You release the same game every year for €70, and every year it has the same bugs. Not only that, FIFA is pay to win. At least Minecraft isn't, luckily. If you have to spend money just to have a chance at winning, but constant bugs prevent you from winning anyway. The community gets frustrated. It's similar to what happens with Bedrock. The community is tired of having to pay for maps, mods, skins, and other types of content in the game, out of fear that at any moment a bug could happen that stops you from playing. One of the most legendary bugs in the Bedrock community is this one. Did you just see what happened? No, right? That's because nothing happened. The player just died for no reason. And there's a theory that Mojang places barrier blocks all over the world so that this can happen. Okay, I know that wasn't the best joke. Sorry, I'm no comedian. Still, I want you to see the game is poorly made. It's always been said that one of the reasons why Bedrock didn't have hardcore mode until recently was because of this bug. Just imagine you're flying. You don't have any totems left because you've used them up, and suddenly you die instantly. It's not like your health goes down little by little and you have time to react. No. You die instantly, without passing go and without collecting 200. What kind of game allows this? Look, I understand that this has already been fixed and it didn't happen to everyone or all the time. I guess at most that bug could only happen to you once, right? But even if it only happens to you once, or if it happens to 1 out of 10 people, it's a completely game-breaking bug. A lighting bug in the case of Java is a problem that bothers you for a while or annoys you when you see it. But that bug is something that just can't happen because honestly, you might stop playing because of it. You suddenly die, lose all your items, quit the world, and never return. I'm sure this has happened to someone. It can even happen without being in the air. Imagine you're mining, you need to find diamonds, and suddenly, boom, you've fallen out of the world. What a silly slip! I was so focused on mining deep slate that I didn't realize I could fall out of the world. Alright, let's change the subject. I'd rather leave the unexplained deaths to the folks from The Conjuring. I'm sure they taught you what mitosis is back in high school, right? The process by which cells divide with the same genetic material. But I'm sure you didn't know that withers can do mitosis. And thank goodness for that. This guy kills both withers, likely benefiting from 2 for the price of 1. But if the kid dies, that's reason to complain to Mojang. I understand that during the battle against the wither skeletons can spawn, so it's possible that instead of spawning a wither skeleton, it just spawned the wither. Just little details, one of the many reasons why the Bedrock wither is way more giga chad than the Java one. Okay, but when it comes to movement, there can't be any bugs. That's impossible, right? Well, there actually are. This player glitches out when trying to climb a block. And the animation is pretty strange. It looks like he has a jump boost. I think the game detects that you're climbing a block, not jumping over it, meaning you're on a slab, and that's why you jump so little. But I have to say that in Java, there are ways for something similar to happen too. I remember some time ago on stream I discovered this. With a water current and a ladder, you can keep jumping infinitely. It seemed like a good idea for servers, especially so you wouldn't get kicked for being AFK, since your player is moving. I've never tried it myself, so test it on servers. And let me know in the comments if it works. We'll discover it together. But Rubik, how many of those bugs exist in the current versions? Well, to be honest, I don't know. On the website where bugs are reported, Mojira, there aren't any statistics about anything at all. We can't know how many bugs are reported per day, week, month, or year. Just like we can't know how many of those bugs get fixed. And what I'm about to tell you, it's not clear if it's real. But on Reddit, it's estimated that there are around 200,000 open bug cases just in Minecraft Bedrock, and that only 7,400 of those bugs have been fixed. Of course, fixing 7,400 bugs is a lot, and that's great, but having 200,000 open cases leaves much to be desired. Basically, only about 3.7% of the bugs have been fixed. The percentage is very low. Hopefully it's not accurate, and we're only looking at the data superficially, since this would put Mojang in a bad spot. Judging a game by its cover isn't the best approach. Bedrock has bugs, but with so many players, there must be a reason for its popularity. For example, most of the players are younger, people who just want to have a good time and might not even notice that bugs like these exist. Java also has its bugs, and we've gotten used to them too. The problem comes when there's no real consistency and you can't fully adapt at all. I'm mainly saying this because of Redstone, not knowing if the mechanism is working badly because of the mechanism itself or because of your computer's performance is pretty tough. It would be harder if you didn't subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting for? Leave a like and see you in the next video.